This video is targeted to a specific kind of person. This video is not for everybody. This video is limited to people who have taken risk, people who have sweated blood, tears for an ambition that seems to never materialize. These people who have questioned their life, questioned God, questioned every single thing they hold dear, that all the amounts of effort dissipated in this activity, either consuming content, reading books, taking action, trying to build a business, every single thing they gave, and nothing is working. Yet, there are individuals with lesser drive, lesser passion, lesser quality. You listen to someone speak, you listen to someone offer a service, and you truly believe you can do better. This is not bragging, this is not arrogance, this is not pride. You truly believe you can do better, you can do something more, and yet a platform isn't available. People online, and unfortunately, I fall into that category of content creators. People make it seem as though once you walk the path of success, everything would be easy, or once the hero has suffered long enough, it's only a matter of time before he succeeds, or some luck or chance happens as a movie with a morale would portray. Not the case. I recall at the infancy of my career trying to look for money to fund my first business. I discarded the idea of using venture capitalists to fund my business. I was speaking to my partner the other day and I said, investors are indeed investors. They are individuals who take calculated risk for return. They are going to try as much as possible to squeeze the juices out of your business. Investors are short-sighted. At least most investors are short-sighted. All you're looking at is the profitability of your business, how your business can quickly double the amount, double their investments. That's all you're focused on. In business, one thing you would know, especially if you've done business for a long enough time frame, one of the things you quickly discover is focusing on finances. You trade short-term gain for long-term reliability, for long-term sustainability, for long-term existence rather. Most likely, those investors might spoil you to sell user data. Once that gets leaked out, your company is in shambles, the investors has already existed, and you're left holding the bags. That was my phobia for investors previously. Anyways, there are exhaustive debates around that, ones that support the motion and otherwise. But the point I want to highlight today is sometimes you get burnt in investment. Sometimes you get burnt in business, in entrepreneurship. A huge majority of people are focused on the wins, what they did good, what they did right. They forget the element of success that came into play as touching their pursuit for destiny. Watch my video though. I think it's the element of success or something that has to do with you do not underestimate the role luck and chance had to play as touching your success. Let me give you an example. At the infancy of this channel, I recorded in an environment that was very hot with a fucked up iPhone 10 series. So what would happen is amidst recording, the temperature hits the glass back, making it to display the high temperature feature, causing my video ending abruptly. I'm speaking, going on a rant, about to make an interesting point, unknown to me, the video has ended. Getting up to stop the video and I see the prompting, it's annoying. Sometimes you hear the ending of the video and it's an interesting or the nucleus of the discussion. Now you have to wait for it to cool down. The positioning of the camera might not be as accurate as previously. The whole video is fucked up. You've lost the passion. You've lost the emotion, causing you to create more low quality content, precipitating that situation, engendering that situation. What I mean by precipitating is cycling the situation, causing it to stay longer than usual. How did I upgrade my camera at the time? Tried as much as possible to get funding, to no avail. I had to reach out to my father, begged for a new device before I was able to get one, continuing my content creation journey. In fact, he didn't give it to me willingly at the time. Too big now. He didn't give it to me willingly. The phone had to spoil. That was the reason I got another device. So there are times in entrepreneurship you get burnt. And I know father who knows if my pursuit for success would have ended there. Very famously, and I've shared this story countless times, I invested in a business, risked my tuition fee as well as my rent, hoping before the time of rent the business would have materialized. Guess what happened? Exactly. The landlord was about to throw me from the house. The school kept calling up and every single thing was in shambles. The only reason I escaped that situation was who? My father. I took out a loan. Not just him. I took a loan from him. I took a loan from a friend. I took a loan from XYZ. And it's the scraping of all of those finances I was able to escape that situation. Majority just paints the picture as though once you take risks, once you make this huge bet, it is certain to come to fruition, which is not the case. So in entrepreneurship, there are failures, there are wins in fact. And being as vulnerable. Why? So once you see failure in your own life, it's not an indicator you're somehow cursed. It's not an indicator that you're not special or this is not for you. It's not an indicator for you to give up. It's an indicator you're moving forward. You would never get stuck if you were not moving. I'll say it again. You would never get stuck if you were not moving. The fact you encounter failure means you're desperately and daily contending against something. Either it's the mediocre version of you or the poor life, and someone deep down in the cravings of your soul, you're angry at this situation. It is time to change it. It is time to get to the next level. It is time to leave all of the arguments, all of the childish conversations, all of the pointing fingers, all of the blaming, and do something about it. Don't stand there and give excuses and blame and point fingers. There are individuals today who vocally insult successful people. Secretly, they apply for their scholarship programs. There are individuals today who have such disdain for success, not necessarily because it's intrinsic, but they desire that outcome. They've tried, and this seemingly uncomposed individual has that which I desire. It's enough reason to hate. but not justifiable. The same love is rich unto all. Keep working hard. Keep putting in the effort. Keep giving every single thing you have to your destiny, to your goals. And trust me, it's going to work out. And as always, my friends, it's a pleasure speaking to you. See you in the next one.